the girls.
Hi everyone. I wanted to talk to you about Jared Lee Loughner. Yeah, it's not over yet. There's a lot still going on with that. Down the rabbit hole we go. Yesterday I interviewed on the Truth of Girls radio Mr. Ed Curini. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about him, and you'll see why this relates to Jared Lee Loughner. Okay, he's been an illustrator, a web designer, avionic technician with the U.S. Air Force, founder of wellaware.net. He's worked for a lot of large corporations like Halliburton, LGC, ExxonMobil, Savage Design as a senior multimedia developer, and chief creative officer for esxengineering.com, and is creative director for ashford.com. He was the illustrator of the book High Treason by Robert Groden, which was later adapted into the movie JFK. And he also illustrated Groden's book The Killing of a President, and he co-produced the documentary JFK: The Case for Conspiracy.
He's also a contributing writer on beforeitsnews.com, and his articles have been featured on prisonplanet.com, and he keeps his own blog on wellaware.net too.
So I guess by this you would know that Ed knows something about conspiracies and about web design and about multimedia. Now here's what I want to tell you. There's a lot of evidence that, the mugshot for Jared Loughner is Photoshopped. That may not come as a huge surprise, but there's more to it than that. Okay, let's go over the incident a little bit. There are a lot of problems with the official story. First of all, the original police reports didn't match the official story. In the original police reports, they said that the suspect fled across the grass, dropping his gun, and then was later chased down and tackled. Officially, a woman grabbed the clip away from Loughner as he was thrown down, at the Safeway. Although that woman later said that didn't happen, that she did not grab the clip.
Now, I just double-checked, and there were 13 wounded and 6 shot dead. He had only 31 rounds in his clip, and if you add up all the bullets that went into people, because some of them were shot 2 or 3 times, you come up with 29 bullets that hit their target. Now, 29 out of 31, I'd say that's a pretty good shot. And on top of that, there were still bullets left in the clip, according to the official story, not including the ones that went into the windows. So you got to kind of wonder whether there were some magic bullets flying around on that day or what.
Also, the death records, Ed did searches, and these deaths should be listed with the county, but they're not. So there's no death records for any of these people. I don't know about the judge, but the rest of them, including Christina Green, and for her, there is also no birth record, which is kind of strange.
And jailbase.com has no record of Jared Lee Loughner having been arrested in the Arizona database.
The guy, there's hardly any proof of his existence. I mean, hardly anybody seems to know him. Okay, they say his parents. They talk to his parents. There's never any pictures of the parents. They were not interviewed. We never hear from the parents. Why are the paparazzi not on their lawn? We never see Loughner after he gets arrested. Like, we just see the mugshot and the court sketches, but you don't see him being transferred, although you do see that with Lindsay Lohan or O.J. Simpson or whoever. And it seems like nobody really knows Loughner. He's like one friend from 2 years ago who's got pink hair, who says some things about him, but who knows if that's even true. Because here's the big thing, the photo, the mugshot, it's photoshopped. And here's a picture of Jared Loughner from right after he got arrested. They said this was him, long-haired hippie guy. Okay, now here's the picture of the mugshot. It doesn't look like the same guy. If you look at the lips in the picture, the lips aren't even the same. The top lip in the mugshot picture is bigger than the bottom lip, whereas in the original picture, the top lip is smaller than the bottom lip. And the bridge of the nose is wider in the original picture. The distance between the tip of the nose to the top lip is larger in the original picture. Okay, here's something even weirder. The mugshot picture, you know who it does look like? It looks like Glenn Beck. Well, look at it. It actually does. This had to be photoshopped because all the shadows match up perfectly. This couldn't just happen by accident. Look at the eyes, around the mouth, the blemishes, not the ears, but if you look at all the shadows, they're all like identical in the picture of Glenn Beck and the picture of Jared Loughner. Also notice that the shadow under the nose is directly under the nose as if the light is coming from directly above, but the shadow on the neck is on the right side of the neck as if the light is coming from the side, and that's just impossible.
Good Lord, are you saying that Jared Lee Loughner is really Glenn Beck?
No, I'm not saying that, Jared Loughner is Glenn Beck, but what they probably did was they took this image that they created of this perhaps even fictitious person, Jared Lee Loughner, and they photoshopped it, and it's probably based on this image of Glenn Beck, actually. I mean, lampshade just fell off. And why would they do that? Well, here's what Ed thinks. That Jared Lee Loughner is this terrible terrorist, and we hate him, and he represents, violence and extremism. And they kind of want to demonize people like Glenn Beck, too. I'm not like a big Glenn Beck fan or whatever, but, it is what it is. And so what they would do is take that picture so that when you see Jared Lee Loughner, subconsciously you associate it with Glenn Beck. Like, you kind of recognize it on a subconscious level. So Glenn Beck, it's a way of making him to be an extremist in the same category as Loughner. But look at the picture. It's got to be based on Glenn Beck. It is Glenn Beck. And after he gets arrested, you don't see Loughner. As I said, no video, no, photos. And also Gabrielle Giffords. I mean, she gets a bullet wound to the head and makes this miraculous recovery. She's making meaningful communication after a week, giving her husband a massage after 2 weeks, walking after 3 weeks. And you never see a single picture of her. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, she probably should have been dead with that bullet hole through the head. And the court sketches that were released before the mugshot showed Loughner as having hair, and at least an inch of hair covering the tips of his ears already. Here's a picture of the court sketches of Jared Lee Loughner. See, they released them before they released the mugshot. So unless he was taking some kind of supplement that makes his hair grow like a chia pet, it's totally impossible. So who knows what's really going on there, but I'll tell you, they're doing something using these images and manipulating the public, and it's got to be for a political agenda. All right, well, thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.